again, my dear students. So this class mainly concentrates on an article that is Society Dead by Andrew Sullivan. Andrew Michael Sullivan is the complete name of the author. And he is writing or asking a question. His title, this article or the essay, is having a title, Is Society Dead? It is yes or no question. Is society dead? Answer can be yes or no. My dear students, we all know that we live in a family and all the families are together forming a society. So we are social beings or animals. So that is why they are asking, the society we are living is dead. So you just think about the society you live in is dead or not. Is society dead? Yes or no question. The articles or the essay's title itself is a yes or no question. Is society dead? So let us know something about Andrew Michael Sullivan. Andrew Michael Sullivan is a British author. He is a Brit. He is an author, editor, and blogger also. You see, there are so many people making blogs in the internet, in their own account. Blogger. And blogger in the United States of America. And Andrew Michael Sullivan is an influential commentator, giving commentaries, and a seasoned lecturer, a teacher, we can say. He's lecturing, teaching, instructing certain ideas and concepts. And Sullivan's writing is known for its excellent journalistic insights. You see, he has, or his writings have a very excellent, 100% excellent journalistic insights, visions, and heavy use of imagery, images, symbols he uses in his writing. So this article is Society Dead on iPod generation, before the popularity of smartphones or video, not videos, audio popularity, sound popularity. There was a period in which most of the people were addicted to iPod, a gadget for listening to sounds, music, lectures. So this article on iPod generation appeared, it was published in the Times Online on February 20th, 2005. That is the speciality of the popularity of this article. So this article on the iPod generation actually is Society that is about iPod generation, which appeared in the Times Online on February 20th, 2005. So let us see some of the important, I think better you'll be having textbook, go through the glossary. I will give you the explanation of, okay. So you will come across in the article or as a mishmash. Mishmash. That means a confused mixture, disordered mixture. That is mishmash. Throng means a crowd, a large, densely packed crowd of people, group of people or animals. That is what we call it as throng. Then bump. What is the meaning of bump? Knock or run into someone or something with a jolt, just jumping and running. Shut out. Screen someone or something from view. That is what we call it as shut out. Screen someone or something from view. That is what we call it as shut out. Then squawks. It is mainly a sound produced especially from birds. Loud, harsh noise. That is what we call it as squawks. Then twitch. Twitch means to give or cause to give a short, sudden jerking or convulsive movement. Twitch means a jerking or convulsive movement. That is what we call it as twitch. Then clunky. What is the meaning of clunky? When we just go through the essay, is society, then you will come across this word. Please try to keep this word. Clunky means solid, something like opposite of liquid. Solid, heavy and old-fashioned. That is what we call it as clunky. Then sleek. Sleek means smooth and glossy. Smooth and glossy, that is what we call it as sleeky. Then compulsive. Compulsive means forcing. Irresistible urge resulting from or relating to an irresistible urge is called compulsive. Then obsession. Obsession means the state of being obsessed with someone, or we are very much having addicted to obsession. Then addictive, causing or likely to cause someone to become very much joined to or connected to, that is addicted to. Cult, you must know, a system of religious veneration or devotion directed towards a particular figure or object. A cult, that is the meaning, cult. For example, we Christians are just worshipping an object, or saints or Jesus Christ object or like that. Autopilot, an electronic control system. What is an autopilot? Electronic control system as an aircraft, spacecraft or a ship, autopilot, and that automatically maintains a present program, a preset program before setting a program. That is autopilot. Actually, here is a society that we are going to learn about an electronic gadget. That is autopilot, an electronic control system. As we can see, it is in the aircraft or spacecraft or a ship that automatically maintains a preset, before set program. Commuter. Commuter means a person who travels from some distance or some distance to work on a regular, everyday traveler is called a commuter. What is the meaning of serendipity? Serendipity is actually the happening or occurrence and the development of events by chance in a happy or a beneficial way. That is what we call it as serendipity, the occurrence or happening or development of events by chance, unexpectedly in a happy or a fruitful way. That is what we call it as serendipity. Then atomization. Separating something into fine pieces or particles is called atomization. Block, B-L-O-K-E. Block means a human being, a fellow. Hilarious. Hilarious means extremely interesting or amusing. Shard. Another word you will shard means a piece of broken ceramic, metal, glass or tile or rock, typically having a sharp edge. That is what we call it as a shard. Then obscure. Obscure means not discovered, which is hidden, which is not known to us. So these are the important words that we will come across. Now, we are going for the essay. Is Society Dead by Andrew Michael Sullivan. Are you familiar with the iPod generation? iPod generation, of course, two wires and keeping on gadget small with all sound system, especially music, talks, and all this can be stored. iPod generation. So, have you heard about iPod generation? Of course, your parents or your elders might have come across that. Sometimes you might have been at the end of the iPod generation. You may have seen them at railway stations, busy cityscapes, and at times in remote villages also you can see these iPod people generation. Perhaps you yourself may be one among the iPod generation. So what is special about this generation? So we are going to understand what are the specialities or characteristics of this iPod generation, and how do you distinguish, differentiate, what is the difference between iPod generation and normal generation or common generation. Now read on to know more about the ultra modern. Ultra modern means most modern representatives or indications of today's youth. So let us go for the first paragraph. I was visiting, the writer Andrew Michael Sullivan was visiting New York City last week, not this week, and he noticed he just focused something I had never thought I would say about the city. So actually he is talking about the New York City in the first paragraph. Nightlife. So New York City's nightlife and day life is there. Nightlife is pretty much dead. It's inactive, not having more enthusiasm and vibrancy. Nightlife in New York City is dead. And I am in no way the first to notice that. Actually, Andrew Sullivan is not the first to notice that dead life of New York City. But day life, let us see. That insane means not having a normalcy. Mishmash, we have discussed a disorderly collection of things. Mishmash of yells. Yells means screams, different sounds. Mishmash, just like a mad like a situation of disorderly collection of things, of sounds, chatter, speakings, hustle. Hustle means hurry, burry, very busy, and chuspa. Chuspa means self-confidence. Please try to make a note of that word. Chuspa means self-confidence was a little different. It was quieter. It was having more silence. Next paragraph of the essay. Manhattan's downtown is now a Disney-like street of malls. You see the street of Manhattan is just like Disney-like string of malls, shopping malls, riverside parks, and pretty upper middle class villages describing the streets of Manhattan. But there was something else. There was something different, and as I looked across the throngs, we came across throngs means crowds of people on the pavement, place where people are supposed to walk on pedestrians' pavements. I began to see, the writer started to see why this happens. There were little white wires. You see throngs, crowds of people on the pavement were having white wires hanging down from their ears. iPod generation, headphones. From their ears or tucked into pockets. They were connected to pockets shirt pockets or pant pockets or trousers pockets or purses or jackets. People, they're wearing dress. The eyes were a little vacant. So actually the eyes of the pedestrians or the people who are walking or the throngs who are walking on the pavement, their eyes were vacant, not at all having any curiosity. Inactive eyes. Each individual of the crowd was in his or her own musical world. They are listening to the music from the iPod gadget, walking to their soundtracks. They are walking in their soundtracks. They are listening to the soundtrack of a music. Stars in their own music videos. You see, the stars means the singers in their music videos almost oblivious. Oblivious means ignoring, rejecting, undermining to the world around them. They are not at all conscious about the world around them. They are actually in their own music track world. These are the iPod people. Here, our Andrew Sullivan is describing the iPod people. They are among the people. They are in the public. They are in the crowd. They are on the pavements. But they are traveling in their own music track without having any contact with their world around. The next paragraph, even without the white wires, you can tell who they are. So we can understand who they are. They walk down the streets in their own MP3 cocoons. The writer or the essayist is actually satirizing, making fun of the gadget. MP3 music player, 3 cocoons, bumping into others. They are not conscious about other people. They are just bumping and touching in a disorderly manner with other travelers. Deaf to small social cues. Easy. Around these people, there are so many social cues. People speaking, or a taxi driver arguing, and sellers selling their products, and the sounds of the aeroplane, sounds of the... These are the social small cues. But they are deaf. This iPod generation do not listen to all the interactions and sounds around them, shutting out anyone not in their bubble, shutting out anyone not in there. So they are avoiding all other people. They are making themselves shut in their own bubble, that is iPod world music track. Every now and again here and this time, that time, some start unconsciously. You see, some start unconsciously, without any knowledge, emitting, sending out strange tuneless quacks like a barely tuned radio, and their fingers snap or their arms twitch to their strange soundless rhythm of... Nobody can hear what this man only can hear through his ears, and he is snapping his fingers and twitching his arms like this, closing his eyes and enjoying the music from his iPod music track. So fingers and their arms twitch to some strange soundless rhythm like this. When others say, when some people is telling a one iPod man, excuse me, he is only in his world. He is not listening to that call of excuse me. There is no response. Hi, ditto. Ditto means as above, mentioned earlier. It is strange to be among so many people. Actually, the iPod generation man or a woman, they are feeling strange. They are alone among many people and hear so little. and they don't listen to the sounds around them. Except that each one is hearing so much. Actually, except that each one is hearing so much. There are so many sounds, but he is listening only to his music track. Yes, I might as well honor. So there is also no exception for that. He is also in the iPod. I am one of them. Andrew Michael Sullivan is also saying that I am also one of the iPod generation. I witnessed. I became a witness. I witnessed. And glazed. So glazed means uninterested. New York looks through my own glazed people. My own uninterested people. So actually this iPod generation are uninterested people, not at all have any interest around them. My white wires peeping out of my ears. I joined the cult. Cult means worshipping, a religious worship or veneration towards something. I joined the cult a few years ago. What is a cult here? iPod. The sect of the little white box worshippers. You see, sect means a group of the little white box worshipper. That means iPod worshipper. It is at that time, iPod generation time, it was considered to be a kind of a occult. The people who are very much addicted to, they worship that white box, the iPod gadget as a god. Life is impossible for them without this white box. This is what the condition. Okay. Others began. As I did. Other people also started as the author did. With the A, you see, that is a very important one. Others began as I did with the Walkman. You know, it is another word for Walkman. And then a kind of clunkier. Clunkier means more awkwardly designed MP3 player, which is causing much damage. But this sleekness, thoughtlessness of the iPod won me over. iPod also attracted the speaker or the writer. Unlike other models, the Walkman, iPod, like other models, it gave me my entire music collection. The essayist also thought that iPod gives him the entire music collection, and to rearrange the folder as I saw fit on the fly, in the aeroplane, in my pocket. What was once an occasional musical diversion means change, became a compulsive obsession. It became an addiction. Obsession means an addiction. Without, the author also became very much addicted to this iPod gadget for listening. Wherever he goes, he wanted to keep the possession of that iPod. And like all addictive cults, you see, worshipping, religious fanaticism, practices of religious as a part of an addiction. And like all addictive cults, it is spreading. iPod is gaining popularity among all the people. Walk through any airport in the United States of America these days, and you will see persons after persons gliding through, moving about here and there. The social, as if on autopilot, preset program to be functioned like just a mechanical way of life. Get on a subway, just take another shortcut, and you are surrounded, you are simply surrounded and crowded by a bunch of Stepford commuters. Stepford commuters means people who are traveling from one place to another regularly every day for their work or their destination. Staring into mid-space as if anesthetized, made immune, made some like a frantic, mad like by technology. Actually, they are addicted to, and they became very much mad by technology. That is all. Don't ask, don't tell, don't overhear, don't observe. Just tune in and tune out. You see, these kind of commands or activities are forbidden for iPod generation representative. Don't ask anything, don't tell anything. Don't overhear what other people say. Don't observe here and there. Shut your eyes. Listen to, just tune into your iPod. And when you are fed up, tune out. No other activities, no social interaction. That is why Andrew Sullivan is asking, is the society dead? It wouldn't be so worrying if I weren't a part of something even bigger. You see, it wouldn't be so worrying, it may not be so satisfactory if I weren't part of something, part of this iPod generation even bigger. You get your news from your favorite blogs, the ones that won't challenge your view of the world, your anticipation and view of the world, getting your favorite blogs. You tune into a satellite radio service that also aims directly at a small market for a new age fanatics, addiction to again technology, liberal talk or modern rock, whatever, a talk or a modern rock music. Television is all cable. Television channels became cable telecasting. Your cell phones can also receive email feeds. Many people can email to you your favorite blogger's latest thoughts seconds after he has posted all these things. Everything is in our hand. Or get sports scores for your team. Your favorite team's sports scores, especially cricket scores. Technology has given us a universe, the complete world entirely for ourselves. The entire universe or the world is in our hand. The serendipity, fortunate discovery of meeting a new stranger. Serendipity means a fortunate discovery of meeting a new stranger. Hearing a piece of music we would never choose for ourselves, or an opinion that might force us to change our mind about something. You see, everything it is on our hand as to satisfy our own wishes. If you want music, if you want to talk, if you want your sports score, whatever, everything is at your hand, are all effectively banished. So, everything is effectively stopped. Atomization. So separate something into fine particles. Atomization by a little white boxes and cell phones. Society without the social. You see, they are living, iPod generation people are living in a society without any social interactions or social sharing. Others who are chosen, not met at random, one by from here and there. Random means from here and there. Others who are chosen, not met at random. So actually this is our choice, being addicted to an iPod. Human beings have never lived like this before. So that was actually a fanaticism, an extreme addiction towards the technology, iPod generation. And human beings have never lived like this before. That is an example he is showing. Yes, we have always had homes. Sure. We lived in homes, we had homes. Retreats, going back and coming back, just reflecting our own, estimating one's own personality. Or places where we went to relax, journeys, travelings, tourist destinations, unwind, just making our senses to grasp all the information, experiences, and shut out the world, or shut out. So sometimes we everything shut out and be in our own iPod world, technology world, but we didn't walk around the world. You see here, Disadvantages of being a representative of iPod generation is that we don't walk around our nature, around the world. That is what the wanderlust, travel, desire, traveling around the world and getting more experience, like a hermit crabs. A hermit crabs means person who is isolated from other people, social contact, who is secluded, separated himself from social contacts. Crab is an animal, sea animal, with our isolation, separation, surgically attached, very seriously related to. Surgically attached. What is surgically seriously joined isolation? iPod generation do not have any direct contact with the world or the society around them. They don't listen to the beautiful sounds around them, the sounds of the nature, sounds of the birds, and sounds of the vehicles, and sounds of the aeroplanes, sounds of trains, and they do not enjoy the what we call it picturesque scenery of the nature. That is one. So now we'll pass on to the next paragraph. Music was once. Now Andrew Sullivan is concentrating on what was the characteristics of music in the past. Music was once the preserver, kept in the living room, visitors room, or the concert hall, or the stage. So people who are liking the music will go to the stage to enjoy the concert. Classical music or Western music, or both the classic and Western, fusion of classical. So they will go to a living room, visitors room, or the stage shows where the music concert was conducted. It was sometimes solitary, a loneliness. We can select individually enjoy, but it was primarily means initially a shared experience. Every people together will come and enjoy, sharing experience. Sometimes that brought the people together, people from around the world or corners of the world joined together as they are enjoying the music. But music is as atomized, made it into different fractions or different folders. Now as living is also became very separated, secluded, just like nucleus families. Joint family system is already disappeared from our society. Just like that, music is also atomized, made into small nucleus or folders. Now as living is also becoming nucleus family systems, and it is a secret. It is very not public, very secret. That block means that man next to you, very near to you on the bus, could be listening to heavy metal or a Gregorian chant song. You see, that is what is the condition of this one. A man very close to you on the bus you are traveling could be listening to a heavy metal sound or a Gregorian chant, Gregorian song. You will never know that thing about. And so, bit by bit, a little by little, you will never really know him. You don't know really that person is very close to you standing in the bus. And why his white wires? He is also a representative of a iPod generation. He is indicating, he is representing, and he is showing that he doesn't really want to know you. Actually, that is private. For example, when you travel in a bus, the person who is traveling very close to you will not understand what you are listening to, or what is it, a metal sound or Gregorian chant or music. So this is a privatized section. What do we get from this? So by being isolating ourselves from the public or from the crowd, what do we, what is the benefit of this? The chance to slip away for a while from everydayness. Actually, we are separating ourselves from the day-to-day activities. Everydayness means day-to-day activities, day-to-day observations, day-to-day watchings, day-to-day hearing, day-to-day smell, and day-to-day interactions. We are separating ourselves away from this technology called iPod generation, from this iPod gadget, to give your lives its own soundtracks. So actually you are trying to give your life its own soundtracks to still the monotony of the commute. You see, actually why we are listening to music, we want to avoid the boredom. Monotony means boring condition of the commute. Commute means every day from 8 o'clock we are alighting a bus and traveling with 2 kilometers, reaching the destination. So we listen to music track in order to avoid the boredom of traveling. Commute means traveling. To listen more closely and carefully to music that can lift you up and can keep you going. You see, by the time you wanted to concentrate your mind to very satisfied condition, you want to calm your and make silent your mind, and you can keep going very peacefully. So we listen to music track. We become masters of our own interest. Of course, you have the interest, you have the taste of listening to music without disturbing anybody else, and you select your own music track and you enjoy it. That is it. So you are the master of your own interest. You have your wish, you are the master. You can select according to your wish. More connected to people, you are more connected to people like us over the internet. So we are very much now this time more familiar with the internet, more instantly, more immediately in touch with anything we want. Whatever we want, we can very fast acquire that. Need, our want, our wishes, our need, our desires, or think we want and think we need. So we are thinking about what do we want, we think about what do we need. This is whatever thing is we can furnish. The next paragraph, but what are we missing? When we are selecting our own need and our own wishes, we are missing something. So we are missing that hilarious means very fascinating, shared, broken pieces of an overhead conversation. What people are just talking around you, we don't listen to. That stays with you every day. People around you talk, but you miss that, what do we call it, very interesting piece of conversation around you. The child who's a chatter on the pavement takes you back to your earlier memories. When you see some children standing by the side of the road and chatting, talking, by the time you will look at them, you will observe them, and you will think, oh, when I was a small child, I was like this, wearing trousers and t-shirts and talking with other children by the side of the streets. So you will get a nostalgic memories. So when you don't observe children talking by the side of the road, you lose your nostalgic memories of children talking among themselves. Then bird song, you miss birds. They are making their chirping sound, which is considered to be the song. That you miss. Bird song you miss. Weather, what is the weather condition? Is it a rainy season or a hot season or a cloudy season? Whether you forget. Accents, people's talking accents, you don't know. The laughter of the other people laughing in different ways, that you miss. And those thoughts that come not by filling your head with the selected diversions. You see, you have your own selected, already pre-planned changes are there. And your thoughts that come not by filling your head with the selected diet. Actually, it is not with the head but with the mind. But by allowing your mind to wander aimlessly, but if you allow your mind to wander, travel without any purpose through the regular background noise of human and mechanical life. You see, Andrew Sullivan is here trying to make you a distinction between reality and artificiality. So a person or a representative of an iPod generation is making a mechanical life of himself, just going, separating himself or herself away from the reality. That means complete all the missing things we explained in the previous paragraph. External stimulation, you see, external motivation, stimulation. External means opposite of external is internal. Okay, external means around our body. That means in the nature itself. So motivation can crowd out to the interior mind. There should come a kind of a motivation and molding up our interior mind. Even the boredom, you see, there are people who are very much bored with the everyday monotonous life activities and practices that we flee, we run, has its uses. You see, we think that every day morning getting up, doing our morning activities, dressing up and taking our lunch bag and bottles and going from home to workplace or going from home to schools, again by 3:30, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, coming back, again traveling, again meeting same people, same conversation, same sound, same nature. You feel a kind of a boredom. But this boredom activities has its own uses. We are forced to find our own ways, means to overcome this boredom of our everyday life. Okay, that is what he is telling. Not so long ago, not more time before, I was on a trip. You see, the writer Andrew Sullivan is talking that he was once going for a journey. I was on a trip. I was going for a journey. And realized, understood, I had left my iPod in my hand. I didn't take my iPod from my home. Now I am in my traveling vehicle. Panic. Extreme fear. Mental fear, physical fear, till the end of the journey. What shall I do? Full boring. I cannot do anything without my iPod, without listening to my music track. Something else. Then when the journey started, he forgot about his iPod. Then he selected something else. I noticed the essayist Andrew Sullivan noticed, understood, he observed, experienced the rhythms of others again. You see, there is a music in the world around us. There is a rhythm in the people around us. There is a rhythm, music in the activities around us. There is a rhythm in the sounds of the birds. There is a rhythm or music in the conversation of the people around us. So there is a rhythm or music in the chattering or talkings of the children around you. And there is a rhythm in the wind around you. There is the music or rhythm in the aeroplane sound, train sound, vehicles sounds on the road. The sound of the airplane. The opinions of the taxi driver arguing with the commuters or travelers. The small social cues, these are all the social indications or cues or symptoms that had been obscured. Obscured means hidden, not at all revealed to the iPod generation before. Actually, when the essayist Andrew Sullivan was on a trip, started a journey, he forgot his iPod gadget. And he took something else. He started observing the people around him, the sounds around him, the visions around him. And he got a better experience and he enjoyed the most or the most excellent music or rhythm around him. So there was a rhythm even in the small social cues around the essayist that had been hidden, which was not at all visible before the essayist also, because he was also one of the iPod generation. I noticed, I observed, I understood how others related to each other, how each and every man is related to one another. So that is why no man is an island. No man is an island. No man is an island, you see. All the human beings are supposed to cooperate with one another. They should be dependent of one another. And we should be in touch with those people. Then only life will be perfect and complete. By using an electronic gadget like iPod, secluding or separating or isolating yourself from the public is a kind of imperfect life. So I noticed, Andrew Sullivan noticed that how other people were related to each other. And I felt just a little bit connected again. Now, when he has forgotten, when the essayist Andrew Michael Sullivan had forgotten to take his iPod gadget, he was trying to connect himself with other people, each other, and I felt just a little bit connected again and a little more aware. He became aware of the world or the nature around him. So we cannot live, we cannot separate ourselves by using an iPod gadget. That is not a perfect life. You see, if we are running after or racing against what do we call it as a pleasure of listening to music, please don't go for that. Don't isolate yourself. The life itself has its own excellent music. The nature around you has a very excellent music. Try to enjoy that music rather than racing against an automated music trap in an electronic technological gadget called iPod. Connected again a little more aware. The last sentence of the essay. Try it. So, Andrew Sullivan, Michael Sullivan is telling, please throw away your iPod gadget and try to listen to the music track of nature around you. There is a world out there. There is another world out there. You are shutting yourself out from that world. And it has a soundtrack. This nature or the world around you has a soundtrack all on its own. Actually, that world has its own soundtrack. With that only, we have come to the end of the essay, Is Society Dead? My dear students, so please try to understand. In this pandemic struck situation, technology is very important, is essentially inevitable of our everyday life. Now you see, for the last 1.5 years, we have not been visited our classrooms in the schools. But we are learning through online platform, with the technologies, with the electronic gadgets. So this is inevitable in our day-to-day life. But remember that misusing of any electronic gadgets, we can use it, utilize it and make it for our own betterment and benefit, but don't misuse it. That is why Andrew Michael Sullivan has written, is society dead? If the society you represent is dead, means there is no meaning of your existence or life in the society, because you are isolating yourself from the very important things of the life around you, or in the nature or the society you are living in, and you are separating yourself from almost all the vital social cues of yours. There is no interaction between you and the society you live in. Then what is the meaning of living in the society? That is why he is telling, is society dead? Or as a social being, as a social animal, are you dead? That is all. So, with this, we are coming to the end of this class, my dear students. I will be giving very immediately all the before taught lessons, very important notes and activities. Try to systematically and scientifically write down and keep a record of that. And my dear students, if society is dead, is not for shunning or not to say bad or negative against technology. Technology is very essential for us to live in the most ultra-modern society. But by the time, please check that whether you use it or misuse it, where comes the importance of technology, and by the time your society will be active and your society will live. If the society lives, you will also live in society. So wish you all the best. We will coming in the next class with very important chapters, notes and textual activities. Wish you all the best. Thank you.